Okay, hi. So this is officially December, and I have so little time to make actually three other gifts that I was asked to make. And today I would like to make some watercolor paintings because there was a time in my life when I was painting like a crazy, and I was creating a painting every single day. Yeah, and then I got bored and I stopped. But in my family, there are people that have a collection of my pictures and they want more. And they asked me to make some pictures, some paintings as a gifts for Christmas. And I will make three, I think. I have them in my head. I don't know if this will be a success, but you can judge me later. If I can create a really nice pictures, that anyone can. Because watercolors are really forgiving. And there is always this moment when you think that this is bullshit and you should stop and throw it away, but you always need to trust the process and finish this work because in the end it's almost always turns out to be nice. Okay, so let's go painting. As I said, I'm not an expert in painting, but I will show you some of my work. I had watercolor painting obsession from 2020 till 2022, and my family liked it and took some of it home, so those are leftovers from my drawer. I am pretty sure that I am making everything in the wrong way, but I don't care. What is crafting if not making things your way, right? I'm pretty sure that my watercolors are too heavy on paint, but I like them. First I need to tape sheet of paper to my desk. This is paper dedicated for watercolor painting. I have some of my favorite watercolors in tubes and cubes, a cup full of brushes. Other things that I will need are clean water, some paper towels, drawing gum, and salt. For real deep black I am using ink or gouache. I want to make the background first, lighter in the middle, and I want it to get darker closer to the edges. This will create illusion of being in the dark forest and there is a clearing in front of us. When I think that there is too much color in the middle, I am just wiping it with paper towel. In the end, I am adding some salt. It will create more interesting texture. After drying, I am using clean brush and water to wipe some of the paint and create white spots. They will look like fireflies in the end. Now I am creating first layer of trees, which is in the distance, so it should be the lightest color. The closer are the trees, the darker color they should get until they are just black. Trees also need to get thicker because they are closer. Let's watch this process and listen to some nice music. I always like to add some kind of creature to my paintings, and this time it will be a deer. You can't see anything, but I am sketching it with pencil so I don't make a mistake while painting. Some last details, highlights, painting fireflies yellow, and after yellow dries I am making white center. And last thing is to spray all of it with super light yellow watery paint. And first one is done. I think it's magical and I really like it. It hits my fantasy vibe. Next painting will be with water, and I will use drawing gum. But first I want to paint the background yellow and green because in my imagination I want to make a lot of yellow and green lights on the sky, like rain of stars. I am using this gum for the first time and it's crap. Or maybe I don't know how to use it, but I had this kind of drawing gum from other brands and it was much better. This one removes pigment. I am making gum lines straight. I want this to look like still water reflections. And now I am painting it all with the color I want, and this is blue, brown and black. When first layer dries, it was too pale for my taste, so I made a second layer with much more pigment. And this time it was almost perfect, except that I wanted to throw it out. It was hideous and I didn't want to continue, but I trusted the process and started to remove drawing gum. It was a nightmare because it didn't want to come off. My fingers hurt. To add some interest in between the sky and water, I made two shores on both sides, one smaller and one bigger, both covered in pine trees. And I also made the reflections in the water. Next, I am making straight lines with white pen to make this rainy feeling in the sky. And drawing flat circles on the water so it looks like water drops hits the surface. Then I made those dots more yellow because drawing gum removed a lot of pigment. in the end some yellow spray dots, and I've painted white centers to the stars and a super tiny creature watching this spectacle. And it's also a deer, because I thought that any other creature this small would be hard to identify. And voila! Not so bad after all. I'm glad I didn't give up on this one, because I like the nostalgic feeling it gives me. And last painting will show the street lamp in this yellow misty evening surrounded by autumn trees. And for glowing lantern effect, I will use the same technique as before. I will make lighter yellow spot where the lantern will be and go darker closer to the edges. After it dried, I hated it even more than the previous one, but I trusted the process again and continued painting, adding layers of trees with darker and darker brown and black. Now it's time to work on the lantern. I'm sketching it, which is probably invisible for you, but I want pencil to be barely visible. When I'm satisfied with the lantern shape, I am painting black with ink. I will also add some vines around the lantern to make it look abandoned. And then I will add last layer of trees. Last thing missing, it was the creature. For this one, it has to be crows, because I can't imagine anything more suitable for this vibe. So I've painted some crows sitting on the tree benches and a few flying in the distance. Last few touches and painting is done. Thank you all for watching this video, and if you like crafting content, please subscribe, like and comment. It's free, and free is a fair price. We will see each other in the next video, and now it's time for the final reveal.